Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm very excited right now to have Gina Georgette and the Monarchs live. How are you guys?
Woo!
Hey.
Very
Very
good.
Very excited to meet all of you. It's your single "I'll Follow You" and Brutus it's really an inspirational style of music for me, and I love female fronted groups ever since I was a kid. The Marvelettes, Supremes, things like that, and that's right up your alley. So I want to, before we go any further, everybody introduce themselves and what part in the band you play, what instruments.
Sure.
Go ahead, G.
I guess I'll start. I'm Gina Georgette and I sing.
Awesome.
I'm Frankie and I play guitar in the band.
I'm Tanya and I play drums.
Awesome.
I'm Jared and I play bass.
Awesome. Darren, somewhere I've seen you before. I'm not sure where. Have we talked before?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Jared. I called you Darren.
Oh no, it's okay. Darren, Jared, it rhymes. Yeah, maybe when we interviewed with the Volcanics, that could be the only thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, you and I look a lot alike, so maybe if
Yeah,
if
maybe.
you look in the mirror, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, I recognize that guy.
Yeah.
You know, same haircut.
So let's get right to it. Let's talk about your single, what you recorded, what you were looking for, your inspiration, and who's helping you put that out there into the world. Whoever wants to start.
Who wants to start?
You start.
Take it away, leader.
Oh man, Tanya, you want to talk about it?
No.
You want to start? T-Love. All right, so Follow You was inspired by a lot of bands you just named. Actually, we're huge Mary Wells fans. So Frankie one day was like, you know what, I have this Mary Wells beat in my head. Let me show you, see what you could come up with. And dude, right away we kind of knew that one day we would turn it into something. That was years ago, probably like a good 5 years ago or so. And then finally, once we had the band put together, dude, they took it to the next level. I mean, Jared and Tanya, they just brought it home, and man, more than what we started off with. So yeah, it's definitely a favorite of ours.
Awesome. So the 60s, like the surf stuff that the Volcanics do that the two of you gentlemen are in is kind of inspired by the same aesthetic in the same time period as the Monarchs. What is it that brings such a nostalgic feel for the 60s to you guys?
I don't know. It's just something that I've always gravitated to. I've always liked the energy, the melodies, the songwriting, the production of a lot of those bands. To be honest, a lot of those surf bands did vocals when they, played live shows. Some of my favorite surf songs are vocals. Dick Dale, King of the Surf Guitar. I love that song. Has a lot of that R&B, that has that girl group backing vocals. I just like it a lot. And so I've always been drawn to it. Good era,
Yeah.
And then, good songwriting. So yeah, it fits. It goes hand in hand. A lot of those bands would back up, the Challengers would back up big artists back in the day. They were the backup band for a lot of those vocalists. So it went hand in hand, really. So
speaking of the backup bands, like as Motown had their group of musicians who backed a lot of the artists, which was really cool, which gave it that one unifying sound. Tanya, as
Mhm.
being a part of that, was that an inspiration for you? The consistency of the music of that era?
Very much so. I do have a lot of love for 60s period music. I'm a really huge fan of 60s like really early garage punk and R&B soul groups. Obviously, like you guys mentioned, really good artists like the Marvelettes. Um, um, I'm I'm not a very well-rounded drummer, but I do draw a lot of inspiration from that era just because I love the simplicity of stuff and just the cohesiveness of everything and just this overall sound. So I definitely do draw a lot of what I do and how I play for sure from like you said, the cohesiveness of everything from that typical period of music.
And people would argue drummers like Meg White were simplistic, but she has quite a unique sound that goes perfectly with the White Stripes, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I'm getting at with you guys. Your drumming style fits perfectly with the music that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I draw I mean, like Frankie was saying, it's just for me that's my preferred era of music. So that's what I listen to on a daily basis. So I mean, that's gonna reflect of how I play, but I just really like the cleanliness of it. There's just like this raw grittiness of just playing this simple, not over complex like pattern that obviously we see later in the development of music and rock and
Yeah.
roll. But just like the early period, I really enjoy the way that sounds, and that's how I like to play, especially to fit. I mean, I wouldn't want to play anything too crazy to play this type of music because it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let her fool you. She's got those blast beats on lockdown.
That's right.
Very true.
She comes in with jokes too. Oh my gosh, she always has us laughing. It's I mean, she's more than a drummer.
Not to mention the backing vocals she does.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you
She
guys.
She always comes up with some amazing harmonies. Just it's
Yeah, she does a lot of the backing vocal songwriting parts.
Yeah.
So she has a lot to do with that.
yep.
So it's really a group effort. It sounds like.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a collaborative group
Oh,
effort with all the songs that we come up with, and
Yeah.
we'll take it and we'll each bring a piece to the puzzle.
I mean, Jared's being quiet right there, but Jared is like he's like this quiet little genius. He's just
Oh,
super
stop
chill
it.
and just comes up with these genius ideas, and we're like always blown away, So we're just also lucky to have each other. We're more than a band. We're good friends, and we love each other and care about each other. And I think a lot of bands lack that. We're a little family. I call us the fam band.
And that's great. That's
Very
probably
true.
why the style which you play brings me back to family growing up. That's the type
Yeah.
of music my family listened to. My whole
Yeah.
family listened to that while I was growing up, and it does have that kind of that feeling of a bond with the people who
Yeah.
listen to it. And you guys obviously have a good bond.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing your posts, and I was very excited to talk to you because I want to talk to you about your single on
Oh yeah.
Altered State of Reverb. Tell me, oh, you got a test pressing.
We got a test pressing right here.
How's
Josh from Altered State of Reverb is making it happen.
How does
He's
it?
the man.
How's it sound?
It's sounding good, man. It took a tour with all of us, and
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave us all each a test press. He gave us 3, so we all got to listen to it, at our home stereo systems, and we just
yeah.
get the green lights a go. So we're can't wait for it to get pressed and all. So
Awesome. Do you have a tentative date that you're shooting for?
I think Josh said
summer or maybe late spring
to summer.
early summer, but no exact date just yet. I think the green lights a go, so you know, it'll depend on the time of the pressing and all that.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of bands right now are in the process of creating new music or getting it pressed, or saying summer, spring.
Yeah,
Same as you guys. So
takes a while. Everything's backed up right now. So yeah, it does take a while for the vinyl.
Awesome.
The digital came out when November
6th.
Yeah, so we're on all digital platforms. So if anybody listening wants to download it, it's available on all digital platforms. So our 2 songs, I'll Follow You and Brutus. So
do you guys
There's
have
something
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say there is something special about the way the vinyl sounds. Like everybody talks about it, but we've been listening to the digital for a while, and then we got the test pressing, and it was like, oh, like there's like all that character, and there's like there's like that lost magic that you don't get with Spotify, you know?
Yeah, a lot of warmth.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to have in your hand, you know, it's just nostalgic.
Yeah.
You know, I love the physical copies, even comics, you know, records, you know, it's just having that physical copy in your hand. It's a lot of things, you know, you miss that in a lot of today's world. So it's just nice to have that, you know, and the artwork, you know, and photos,
much
write-ups.
7-inch.
Yeah.
So okay, we got 2 guys from the Volcanics. How did you piece together who was going to be in this band? Where did you say, okay, I know Tanya's going to be perfect for this, Jared's going to be into this? Whose idea was it to get all you guys together?
I guess I'll get started on that. So, you know, for a minute, I would jump on stage with the Volcanics. I was doing that for, I don't know, good 5-6 years. And a previous Volcanic member, Derek, beloved Derek, bass player.
He was our original bass player
back in the day. He's like, you know what? It's time for you to have your own band and this and that. I'm like, you know what? Okay, yeah, I would love to. You know, it's so much fun, you know. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna help you write music. And he's like, and then Frankie will just play it. He'll just play it. Frankie had no idea this was going on. And so, whatchamacallit, I came in the house, Frankie's watching sports, and I said, hey, we're starting a band. He's like, oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, anything you need, I'm there. Little did he know he was head guy. Derek, and he's like,
and then Derek bounces.
Yeah,
right after that.
He's like, I'm out. But and then from there, I mean, like I said, we're all pretty family.
Yeah, even Derek, he's not in the band anymore, but
he's always around.
we're good friends with him, best friends with him.
Yeah, he's family. And so here comes Jared. He's like, I'm totally down. I'm down to help in whatever you guys need, because Jared's family too. And Frankie's like, well, you know, I've always loved girl groups. And he's like, I'd want to have just another female in the band. And, you know, and he hunted Tanya down. I didn't know Tanya personally, but he comes home one day. He had a show, a Volcanic show. He's like, I found the perfect bandmate for us, and she's gonna be awesome. He's like, she's just the best. Like, he was just praising her up and down. Wow. And I think Tanya has a story on that.
Yeah.
And he got me all excited. I'm like, hell yeah.
Tanya played in this garage band called the Night Times, and we played a show. The Volcanics played a show with them in Santa Barbara, I think it was.
But you had your eyes on her.
Yeah. I knew that Tanya would.
Was our missing piece. Yeah. She was our missing link.
But I remember approaching Tanya after our show, after we both played, and I had a little bit too many Coronas. I'm not talking about the virus either. But yeah, I approached her. She's like, let's do it. And so we got together, and of course Jared was a brainless. You know, we got Jared right. We knew we were going to get Jared.
Did you just call me brainless?
No. But anyway, that's how we all got together. And
Mhm.
Tanya, if you know differently, because I wasn't there that day, feel free to speak up.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah. What
Frankie,
did
like,
Frankie actually say
stumbling?
after all those?
Yeah,
Coronas?
was he stumbling? How drunk was he?
No, it was really funny actually. He had reached out to me through Facebook probably like a few months before that. And I think it was like in December or something. And he was like, "Hey, I have this project." And at the
Yeah.
time I was really, I was really hesitant because the band I was in was really busy. And I'm like, I don't want to, take on something else that I can't 100% like put all my time into and, participate as much as I would like to participate in. So I was like, I'm on the fence. I'm not sure. Maybe let's wait a little bit and I'll see how I'm feeling. And then we just so happened to play the show like a few months later in Santa Barbara. And then Frankie's like all trash and he's like, "You need to be in my band, man. Please do it." And then Ben, which is a drummer for the Volcanics, was like, "Just do it. It'll be fun." And Frankie's like, "Trust me, it's gonna be really easy. You just have to show up. It'll be fun. There's no pressure." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it." All right.
But that was true, isn't it true? No,
No, it is
pressure.
true.
Yeah.
It is very true.
We have a
yeah,
lot of
but
fun.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. So it was definitely a very good decision.
Yeah,
But it was just really funny.
we all have day jobs and Tanya's
Yeah.
going to school. We all have our responsibilities. And so we know, life comes first and this is our outlet. So whenever we can, it just makes us smile. That's why
Yeah.
we're all playing music. It's the point
Yeah.
is to smile. And if it allows us to do that.
And if you're not smiling, then it's not working.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
guys,
And most of
you guys left out like a pretty huge chunk of like the history and what led up to the missing link, which the missing link was Tanya on drums. But like
Oh yeah.
we went for like a year or more than a year, right?
It's been a
Oh
while.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Without a
Yeah,
drummer at all,
yes.
just like people like coming in and sitting in and
Yeah.
we try it out and it like
It's
just jam.
Yeah.
And like Frankie and Gina would come in with songs, or we would come up with something together and we would like develop the songs like on our own, or like we had our buddy Mike playing drums for a while. And
Mhm.
was there anyone else playing drums? I don't remember, but
Yeah.
Just here and there casually, but not
nothing ever
nobody-
happened until like Tanya came. Then we were like, oh shit, like she's serious.
Missing link.
Like we gotta like get our act together. And like she was literally the missing link, and we just like went with all this like forward momentum that we had been building up.
Yeah, I remember I was when Tanya first started and playing with massive reverb, playing in a surf band. I'm playing almost at times completely dry my guitar tone, and so I felt very vulnerable. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm the missing link. I'm the missing link. I'm weakest link. And so I remember feeling out of place, and it took me a while to catch up. But I loved it because it challenged me, really motivated me, and to step outside of the instrumental surf box that I have been in since the 90s. So I loved it. Jared and the songwriting, his bass player, he's like, that's major, not minor. He's always correcting me, and so it was really good. I mean, it's a blast.
It's fun, man, because when we have band practice, it's not, I don't even see it as band practice. Like we just start drinking and eating, and we end up going to Tanya's favorite restaurant. And
Noodle World.
Noodle World. And we just eat noodles.
Shout out to
all
Noodle
night.
World.
Your
Please
favorite.
sponsor
It's
this video, Noodle World.
So band practice ends up being like 10 hours long, and it's more or less just talking crap to each other, just making fun of Frankie most of the time. and just being what a fun, no pressure band should be. Just roll with it, have a good time.
That's a good point you make. When you have you all have day jobs, this is what you do for fun. If it's not fun, you're not going to do it. So it's obvious you guys you all have smiles on your faces, and I could tell, this is a labor of love for you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely an outlet. It's something I look forward to, just being with my friends, and being creative, all of us together, and coming up with something special it's just everything to me.
Which leads me to my next question. You have a lot going on. Other than your single, you have other things you're working on.
Yes,
Can
we're
you
gonna
talk-
go into the we're gonna go into the studio soon and record a full length. Jared, just as he does the Volcanics, he records us. We're gonna go in and track about 12 songs or so at the hobby shop in Highland Park at the end of this month. So we're really excited about that.
Wow.
So a lot of cool things coming up for us. So
That's you got quite the momentum going there. I mean, 12 tracks since the last time I talked to you. That's a full album.
they've been building over the years. We've had this project
5
for a
years.
while. It just finally we have the all the weapons in place to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so G and I will come in and we have these ideas, and then Tanya and Jared, they perfect them. And, so we've been writing for a while, this whole group. So, we just started building songs, and, we continue to, to try to keep it fresh. So, but yeah, we're excited. We want to do this full length, and, it's going to be a lot of fun. I always love going into the hobby shop. It's going to be Gina's and Tanya's first time there, but I used to fear recording before, because that mic picks up everything you don't want it to, and here's all your mistakes. But it's I've come to love it, and it's almost like really comforting, and I look forward to it now. Jared makes it really easy. He's a great producer, and engineer, and he's very patient, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Jared, why don't you talk about a little bit about the production and how you kind of fine tune it to get the sound you're looking for, to make it as authentic as possible?
That's a good question. I mean, it's something I toil with, and it keeps me up, at night, and it wakes me up early, and it's like I'm so inspired by so many different things, but at the end of the day, like, it has to be true to how we sound, and like the noise we make as a unit. Like I could like listen to like lately I've been listening to like the Temptations, just because I never listened to the Temptations. Like, I know some of the songs, but I never listened to them. I never listened to like how their stuff was recorded, or like why bass line does this thing right there, or how this drum pattern is. Like, those little things are like just so incredible when you dive into like these like classic songs that we know like the back of our hand. So like, I look for those kinds of things when we're recording, but like I'm inspired by like punk rock and surf and garage. I'm inspired by like reggae and dub. I'm inspired by like 60s, soul, like all that stuff. But we are who we are. We have a little bit of everything. We're a little bit punk rock. We're a little bit rougher on the edges. We're a little bit surf. We're a little bit soul. We all have like dreams and like visions, and they're all different. And when we come together, this is how we sound. This is the sound we make. And so I think at the end of the day, just the production and the recording and everything is to not fight any of that. Is to not fight anything. Just I put up a minimum amount of mics and do a minimum amount of production, and try and do as much live as possible to capture the feel. And it's a very simple recording process. In fact, the last two, the single we recorded, we just recorded, I only brought like an Apollo Twin, which is just like a 2-input little tiny interface, and 2 mics. And that's like what we did the whole thing with. Like,
Wow.
we didn't we didn't do anything like fancy at all. And then we did a few overdubs, like some backing vocals and some piano and some percussion or hand claps and stuff. But it's like as minimal as possible, just to capture what's happening in the room. That's the whole like idea behind the project for me, as far as production and recording goes. And these guys all seem to be like happy with that approach and like stoked on the way it comes out.
Yeah, it sounds
So-
it sounds like you're in a jamming room, like a rehearsal room, all playing together. It sounds really tight yet ambient. I love the sound of the recording.
Nice. Yeah. So that's it, man. It's just minimal mics, minimal production, capture as much live. And like that seems to be like how you get like a true representation of our band, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about some of the gigs you've been playing. What has the response been, and what kind of bands have you been lining yourselves up with?
Well, it's been kind of quiet. Oh, you know your dad here, T Love. He's pinching me, saying that's you. I don't have to tell Jared because Jared already knows how Frankie is. Well, the pandemic put a halt to a lot of our shows and stuff. I mean, we had a few things, quite a bit lined up right before everything shut down, and unfortunately we had to stay quiet for a minute because of all that. But things are starting to pick up, and we had our first show back actually at the Barclay in Pasadena for New Year's Eve, and it's just so much fun. I feel like people don't expect what we bring, and it's so refreshing to see people smile.
Yeah.
Whether it's just the best feeling. But yeah, we're always open to play wherever we get invited. It's always such an honor. So
Yeah, that was our first time back after all the shutdowns.
Close to 2 years.
So we're really anxious. I mean, first and foremost is going to be this recording. Then after, we want to start playing shows, and then pushing that single, and just we'll see how it goes from there.
If you guys need any help promoting that, I told you in Messenger, I'm your guy. I'll give you all of the attention you need. I'm gonna have that another radio show coming up, and if you guys want to send me some stuff, I'll be happy to play it on there. I'm gonna try to keep the show a little shorter this time, maybe an hour. So there'll probably be like 25 songs or something like that. But I like to have all the bands from the interviews on the radio show.
Very cool.
So it kind of
that'd be an honor.
Yeah, thank you for all the promotion you've done for us, and the Volcanics as well. The videos, the reviews on the albums, and just the shout outs. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge fan. What's that song? Russian Roulette.
Yeah, that's off the first album.
When I first heard that, I was in my car and I was going like, so
we hardly play that one live anymore. But now that you mention it, we gotta. I think Jared learn it.
All right.
So
learn it for Ryan.
Where can people find you online? Social media, websites, stores. Give me a rundown of where our listeners can find you.
Any of the digital platforms, iTunes, Spotify, all that. And of course, Altered State of Reverb, our amazing record label that's been helping us. We've been working with Josh there, and he's the man. He's just been so good to us. We're so blessed to have run into him. But he has a lot going on his website too, and we're definitely on there.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Gina Georgette and the Monarchs, as well as on Facebook. We don't have a website, but I'm not sure if you need one these days anymore.
I know, yeah.
We have an email address for shows if anybody wants to book us.
Yep. Gina Georgette and the Monarchs at Gmail.
So
Awesome. Awesome. So I want to thank you so much, guys and gals, for coming on. You know, it was great to hear you starting out the songs you sent me, and I'm glad I got to talk to you about your music, because, you know, I like to help because I'm a fan. I'm a fan first. So I hope you guys know that it means a lot to me that you guys agreed to come on the show, and I really love your music. You Gina, you got a great voice and you got a real talent.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
thank you, Ryan. Thank you for everything. Thank you for
Ryan.
having us on, and all you do for the scene. You know,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for people like you, there would be no scene for us to play. So that's pretty important part as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your day.
You
You
too.
too, Ryan.
Thanks,
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Ryan.
everything.